Judith McGeary.
There's a much bigger piece this one for you guys. Hi, my name is Judith McGarry. I'm here on behalf of the Farm and Ranch Freedom Alliance and myself, and I'm testifying actually on both bills, 1139 and 2084, in support of both bills. And I'd like very much to thank both Chairwoman Colforce and Representative Rodriguez for introducing these bills. What I'm handing out is simply a chart we've compiled of cottage food laws around the country. I actually think we missed a bunch, but these were the ones that we were actually able to find the statutory language. And I just wanted to give you all a sense of what other states are doing. And it's an interesting chart, including the fact that most, well, maybe it's not an interesting chart, but many states don't even put a dollar limit. I mean, I understand and I agree with the decision to put a dollar limit on it, but just to give you a sense, there are a lot of states out there that if you're producing low-risk foods, you're not regulated and selling directly to the consumer. And that's the key piece. And again, I go back to what I said on raw milk for a moment. You know, there's an issue of accountability and transparency when we're dealing with the direct consumer transaction. That's absolutely critical to the benefits of this bill and the safety of the food. Because if there ever is a problem, you know where it is within days. It's not months like the spinach outbreaks or the tomato outbreaks or the peanut butter outbreaks, where it's taken months and months and months to find out what happened. You know where that food came from and you know it immediately. So we're very strong support of the cottage fruits provisions of both bills. I wanted to give a little bit of context very quickly to the other provisions in 2084, because they came, or at least some of it came from things that we've been hearing a lot from our local farmers. The dairy regulation issue in this specifically refers to fees, or the main concern is the fees on small-scale cheesemakers. Due to a 2007 bill, many of our small-scale cheesemakers, folks, micro artisan cheesemakers, little tiny businesses, went from seeing fees of $50 a year to $600 a year. I know, I'm going to be good. You know, and so there's, you know, frankly, I've got micro cheesemakers telling me they can't do it. You know, they're grossing maybe $10,000 a year. Seeing all of a sudden the fees jump up like this has been devastating for them. Another provision that we're hoping to see this interim study on is the property taxes. Texas law, Texas Constitution says that if you are using your land for agricultural use, the land should be valued as such, not exempted, but recognize that the value is not the same as the development value, and that there's a value to society of having open space land. Unfortunately, what's happened is a lot of the county tax assessors look at the basic model in Texas, which is you have some cows on the property, okay, you've got your tax, you know, your ag valuation. And when they have to deal with our fruit and vegetable producers, they literally, I mean, farmers who are raising food for market and feeding hundreds of families are being told, yes, you don't count. That's not ag use. Farmers who are, you know, nonprofits who have community gardens in the cities, who are, again, raising food for families in low-income areas, are told, no, you don't qualify. So, you know, there are a lot of problems about how the ag valuation is being applied, and we would really love to see this interim study on it. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions? Thank you very much. Brianna Miller. Brianna Miller. Susan Beckwith.
Hi. Hi, my name is Susan Beckwith. I'm a farmer, hence the bleary eyes. I'm representing myself, and I'm also president of the Texas Organic Farmers and Gardeners Association. I was also the project manager on building Coyote Creek Organic Feed Mill, which is the first commercial organic feed mill in Texas that we built in 2007.
Which bill are you testifying on?
1139 and 2084, and I'm for those. The Texas Organic Farmers and Gardeners Association, we call it TOFGA, is a statewide Texas nonprofit serving the educational needs of Texas organic and sustainable farmers. ranchers, and gardeners. Most of our nearly 300 members are pretty small operations. Realizing that y'all have a lot of authority, but you probably can't make it rain. What I do want to ask you, though, is that as you consider these various issues related to food and related to farming and small agriculture in Texas, that you please remember that our small farms are small businesses. We are struggling against many barriers to our success. Like any business, we have to keep our costs low and our revenues as high as we can. Policies that you enact will either support or impede our success directly. We have to be able to sell what we produce, and we'll produce what we can sell. We have strong demand for our products, yet many policies exist which prevent us from selling our products. When we have to pay high fees or high taxes on our land, that raises our costs. There's a threshold beyond which we can't raise our revenue because people just won't pay it beyond a certain price. The organic and sustainable farmers of Texas are small businesses. We're working very hard to make a living, to give our customers what they want. And I ask you on behalf of these farmers, gardeners, and ranchers to please work with us, help us reduce our costs, increase our revenues, and let us thrive. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Beckwith. Are there any questions for this witness? Thank you very much. Andrew Smiley. Andrew Smiley. Susan Simpson. And please give us your name, who you represent, which bill you're testifying on, and your position on the bill.
Okay, I'm Susan Simpson. I'm testifying for HB 1139, and I'm representing, I guess, myself and perhaps some friends. I don't know. Eventually, I might get to the point where I could make things and try to sell them, but not right now. But I have many friends that I've wanted to buy a cake, a birthday cake from, bread, and they said, oh, you know, we can't legally charge you for this. You can give me a donation. And so I'm very for them feeling like they can obey the law and sell these things. Some of the ridiculous parts of this law in farmers markets, there's a lot of unambiguous regulations. There's a temperature issue. Some local regulations are requiring farmers to use constant mechanical refrigeration. So at the farmers market, they're being required to have a generator running, to have a portable fridge, even though the cold foods would be fine in a simple cooler. Or they're requiring farmers to have a 3-basin sink at a farmer's market and connected to a sewer system simply to wash an apple. So some of these things we're hoping to change. I've gone to cheese-making classes where I've signed petitions where they were requiring the cheesemakers to have a paved driveway, to have separate rooms for each process of the cheese-making, to have a $1,000 metal cheese press, to have handicapped access. There's certain things in the laws now that are kind of ridiculous for especially people that the license is costing more than the money that they're making selling it. So I just on record to support this bill.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wait. Are you any relation to anyone that's here?
Yes, I spoke earlier.
I wouldn't. I'm sorry. I was just talking through that. Your significant other.
Yeah, he's over there. So I'm fine being here.
That's good. Well, thanks, really.
Thank you.
Nancy Falstorp. Did I pronounce that right? Falstorp?
My My name is Nancy Falster. I'm here representing myself, and I'm speaking for 1139. There's a lot.
And your position on the bill.
For.
Thank you.
Yes. I just wanted to mention a couple of things. One was when I called the State Department of Health and asked them about selling sauerkraut, which is a low-risk food. After the lady told me there's 270 pages to work through and becoming a commercial kitchen, I finally told her just in frustration, you know what? Forget this. I'm just going to sell the recipe for $10 and give the sauerkraut away. And she thought that was a great idea, but they haven't regulated giving food away yet. And so she suggested that I follow that example. And so that's what I've done to stay within the bounds of the law. I teach cooking classes. I taught Susan cheese making classes at our farm. And the cooking classes, people come and they can buy the recipe for $10 and they get a free quart of sauerkraut. If this bill was passed, we would be able to offer for sale low-risk foods, and that's what we're doing. What we're hoping we're doing here. And the other thing that I want to remind the committee has been brought up. We are in tough economic times that make it tougher. Small producers around the state are doing just that. We're trying to produce and we're trying to bring income in and trying to help revive. I live in a small rural area. Revive those areas. We are not takers and we're not asking the state to support us in any manner. We're trying to help alleviate the burden that y'all are under right now of making cuts and that sort of thing. And I thank you very much for listening.
Are there any questions? On the first bill you testified on, you were wearing your black gloves.
Yes.
Now you're not.
No, I just thought that I might have to just flip them around a little bit.